Hello and welcome. If you've been here a while, you probably know this is my sugar shack. If you're new, well, this was my sugar shack. Come inside. I got my filter press, my finishing pots. Turn the light on. My stove. But this year I decided I was gonna upgrade the stove. And, well, we made some other upgrades as well. And now we're moving into this. How did we get here? Well, let's go back to the beginning. Well, just a few short weeks ago, this was a corn crib that hasn't been used in a couple of years. You can see right there on the bottom, the corn cobs, they've been stacked up like that for quite some time. So we finally got in here and got it all shoveled out. Got all the tarps still on it, that has to come off. So after we got all the corn cobs cleaned out of it, Dad really took over because my work schedule went to hell. So the day after cleaning out all the corn cobs, Dad ordered the steel and went and bought the 2x4s for the stripping. Then immediately went to work on figuring out where to put the 2x4s to anchor the steel to. The first day was slow going, trying to figure out the placement of everything, figuring out how things were going to go together. But on the second day, he really took off. Here it is on the outside. The spacing for the 2x4s is 1 foot. Thankfully, he figured that out and then got all the sheet metal up. I think this is probably day 3 of working on wrapping it. So here's a picture from the inside when we were working on that. Thankfully, I got out of work a little earlier than I had been, and he had started hanging the first sheet. So we just grabbed a sheet and went all the way around with it. Put a screw right in the middle of it and kept on going. We got the entire inside, all the sheet metal up one night. It took a few more days of putting screws in to get all the screws in it though. Alright, so back on the outside here, we just got a little bit more to cut up and put on. Got the door done. Got the stove in it so it's out of the way. Then we got to put the anchors down so we can put a concrete pad in. Got the concrete pad poured for the stove to sit on. Now we got to fix the big cracks in the floor so we can move stuff around more freely. So now we got the cracks most of the way finished up. This one looks a little rough, but it was huge. So what I'm going to do is take some resurfacer, recap, whatever you want to call it, put it down on top. We'll get this whole thing looking uniform. Might clean up the edges of this pad some. This one back here, I didn't tap it enough, and you can see over here, same. So I figure while I'm at it and working on it, I might as well make everything look as good as I can before I put a bunch of stuff in here and I decide not to touch it again. Dad also put a nice awning on this, so when we walk out the door, the condensation or whatever rain isn't dripping straight down onto the door. Plus, after we built the door and it rained the first time, all the water was hitting the concrete right up front here and just soaked that door, swelling up the wood and making things change, trying to bow it and stuff. So since we got this thing wrapped in steel, it's been a slow go, but we've been making progress on it slowly. The other day, I got lights hung up in here. I haven't got to test them out yet, but then you can see right there, that should be the hole for the chimney to go out. So I still got to cut that out, but I got to order 2 more pieces and then a cap to go on top of that, keep the water out of the stove. We still have to do everything inside. Haven't touched that yet. Still gotta get the bricks and stuff in there. There's the grates. Dad started working on power the other day. Got this all chiseled out here. He's got to get another piece of conduit so he can see if the hole's big enough for not. If he has to make it bigger, then he has to make it bigger, but that's kind of what I'm waiting on for the floor right now, because we want to get that piece of conduit in there and get that patched up, and then I'll come in and just finish it all at one time so it looks uniform. Back here, we're going to put this bulk tank. That'll just be plumbed right in. Someday, where I'm standing here, we'd like to put another little slide-in building so we can put the RO and we can get everything out of the house and that other trailer, and just everything will be right here. Alright, so we got the lights plugged in and tested. Pretty sure they're going to be bright enough once the steam is going, but we'll see once that happens. I don't really have too many pictures of this rear building going up because Dad really took charge of it and was doing a lot while I was at work, so thanks to him for that. But here you can see we're standing up the walls. He's got the plywood down on the floor, looking really good. Here we have all 4 walls up, and we just need to put the steel in this last one and put the roof on it. Alrighty, and here's the roof, looking good. It's got most of the stringers on it. Then we got the rest of the stringers put up so we can put the steel up. Due to access, once the steel was on the roof, we decided to put the gutter on first, so here's the gutter. Then we started putting steel up. As usual, the first one was a pain in the butt, but after that, you're good to go until you get to the last one. We weren't sure how we were safely gonna put this last one up, but we decided to use the elevator. We used the elevator to put that last piece up, and the sides. We put those on with the elevator. We still have to put the trim piece on, but that's gonna have to wait until spring. Here's my helper cleaning up the edge of the pad so we can get the floor finished. And then we got the floor all finished up. Alright, now that the floor is all finished up, we can start getting the stove ripped apart so we can get it insulated. You can see right here the stainless steel wall exposed. You got the fire blanket, get that cut up and put in. Got one done. There's a second one. Got that in. You can see the crescent wrench right there. It didn't want to stand up by itself. Got a few more pieces put in down by the bottom of the door. There it is, all finished up. Oh, my bricks are all laid out. Got the bricks put in, all cemented in. Got the hole cut in the ceiling. Beginning of this video, I said that I had the circle scribed onto the ceiling with a Sharpie. Thought that was going to be the hole. I ended up cutting it like 3, maybe 4 more times to get it round enough to stick the pipe through, but it wasn't too terribly bad, and it's way tighter than I expected it to be when it was done, so it all worked out. Except for the fact that I forgot to bring a tripod or film any of it, so there's that. I was a bit worried about getting this top of the chimney put on, but it wasn't too bad. I think it was about 8 feet worth of pipe we had stuck up there, but we got the elevator over there, and Dad was wedged in over there by the wall, and we got it all worked out. It went up way smoother than I expected it to. This electrical has been quite the team effort. Dad put the boxes where he thought they might need to go. My buddy came over and ran the conduit for me. Thank you. I ran the wires, and then my buddy came back over and wired up all of the outlets because for some reason I was struggling, and he made it look super easy. So again, thank you. Alrighty, and here's the contraption we're going to use to get the sap out of the milk tank. Alright, so here we just firm coated on to the stainless steel pipe from the tank. We got the shut-off valve to the pans, and then we got the connector to the pans. Alrighty, then on the other side we have the fill gauge that I don't have built or on there yet. And then we have the clean-out valve and garden hose connectors, so if I have anything in the milk tank or I need to clean it, I can just flush it right out the garden hose. Alrighty, then I got the inside done good enough to get started. So we have the thermostat for the chimney, and then we have the power line going to the other building, and we also have the float gauge for the milk tank. So that's going to be the build update for now. We still have more than enough to do this coming year, but everything's set up good enough for this year. We still have to, oh, I guess that needs another door on it. That big door needs a track on it. We still need to do shelving and other stuff in here. We need to run actual power so we're not running off an extension cord. We need to get the filter press in here. We need to get the RO up here. We still have lots to do, so this won't be, well, this hopefully won't be the last video on getting this set up. But for this season, we got what we needed, and we're gonna move on with it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.